And so we are back. We have had some major issues that we have been noticing, but we're back. We have missed one round. Another round it went into the hands of Fennix here. Back with the 0-3 that way. And so on. We're on round 4, and now it's really in the time for Team Black to take a stance and say, Ayo, we have to group up, we have to focus, we have to commit to ourselves back into this matchup, because either way, this map is so defender-sided. The attackers really need to pick up their game and get some points going here, because a potential 5-1 or a potential 6-1, 6-0 would be absolutely hard to come back from, even though they then have the opportunity to play in the
5-1
side.
Is always a little bit rough, but it is also the default half for guys, so we can't be too concerned if it does end up going that way for the side of Team Black. But it is going to be Mankai, unfortunately, to fall for the Frostmat at the top of the right stairs, and it's going to be just having this little bit of split by Chiron and also Silverback just playing on either side of this Shrine Dragon area, and also this meeting side. Gets caught a little bit by the fire, but Mankai is there to find the first kill. And, well, it's going to be one my falling. Active utility that needs to be placed during the round, and we'll have to see if the side of Fennix can come back from that.
And so on that, we have taken Shrine, even though I have to say, well, that Fennix made a great job with disrupting the approach here from Team Black. Now they're gaining some more ground after Mannequin now falling down through the death here of the hands of BO3 with his neither than Knight Legion, getting him out of the game. And now we have one near close minute left on the clock. And it's looking like Team Black is having a major issue coming further here. It just came up on Shrine and it immediately stopped here with the movements.
Indeed, they're just poking and prodding through these holes right now. Chiron finds one guard to fall. They're very close to the bomb site, and Shlewu could have a whale of a time if he's able to find his man, but instead it's Maxim to find one. 06 finds Shlewu, and now we're in a 2 versus 3 situation. Fennix have once again found the advantage. We missed the last round, but this could be a very swift 4-0, as they're not even able to get the full Geisha breach open. He has to commit through the windows, either on Meeting or Geisha itself. He makes his way through on towards Meeting to get into Drum and give his teammate a hand. One gets caught, but he doesn't quite find it. Legion finds his confirm, and it's going to be Tachanka to claim up the final man with his 9x19. That is going to be another Fennix round. The team that came in as the underdog. And, well, we are just seeing the side of Team Black take way too much time to do very, very simple things.
Yeah, they're taking themselves way too much time. They're using so much of their own abilities and also gadgets, but they're not making any capital out of it. They're just coming into the room after the maps and the elevation, come a little bit closer to the spot, and it immediately stops and they get disrupted. And there's just no more coming away from Bao's positions, as Fennix always finds the correct answer and adaptation to answer apart the build-up from Team Black here. We have seen 3 rounds, or potentially we have here 4 rounds been played here by Fennix, with absolutely every single time finding the right answers on the build-up or the play from Team Black. It makes the plays from Team Black look amateur-like. Even though Team Black, don't get us wrong, Team Black is a very well-resumed team, especially after the first stage that I played here at the ESA. But now they're really looking like they're struggling. They're not there as we know them. They're not into the game right now. But either said Malachi makes the first kill here. But my dear Naj, I just want to ask one thing. We said so incredibly much good about Team Black. Is that a typical way of us casters jinxing a game beforehand?
Very, very possibly, but I think another thing to really acknowledge is the fact that they were able to find the opening here. They were able to get themselves a bit more sort of a foothold in a couple of these areas, so they are just able to do a bit more. They're bringing along the Bravo, which is going to be a good piece of utility for them to keep track of and monitor. The bottom black stairs cam does get dealt with, but so does a player on the same side. Ash is going to be opening up the castle barricade, and I think the thing to really look out for here on the side of Team Black is if they're able to actually get this round. Because if they're able to actually get this round, then we could see that 5-1 default half that we really expect. But if they're not able to get this round and we go 6-0 in favor of these attackers, or in favor of these defenders, sorry, this is where, and pardon my French, it could be really shit for the side of Team Black.
It is. Especially, you always may get 1 or 2 rounds. Maybe also, if you're playing your cards right here on this map, you may also get a 3rd win in the attack here. But if you really lose 6 attacks here in the first half, then trying to counter with getting 6 wins of your own in the defense is so intense. It is so hard to do. But either way here, now Team Black is looking phenomenal. Schlevel moving just forward like a train on his bars. Not into back a second, but now Fennix finds the first, finds Skyrim, but immediately gets pulled out here in the trade with Quake. So that way we have Fennix falling for the first round, 4-1 standing up, round 6 coming up, and I really much hope this was the awakening call for Team Black, and now train of Team Black will begin to run. As well as we've seen 4-1, one round that looked incredible now for Team Black, where Fennix didn't look good at all. Is this potentially the turn, or was it just one round with a little bit less focus, after your opinion?
Well, Team Black are playing a much more methodical approach, and I think that can go really well for them, but it could also go terribly for them. The reason why is because methodical approaches, as we know, are very inconsistent. We've seen the likes of Virtus Pro in the Pro League be super inconsistent, be one of those teams that can really shit the bed throughout an entire stage, and that's where we kind of learn to struggle with a few of these rosters, and we kind of learn to expect that they might actually fall behind a little bit. But with Skyscraper being the way it is, I wouldn't be too surprised if Fennix are able to come out with this round. And if they are able to come out with this round, yeah, they're in a good position, but realistically, it's still on the cards for the side of Team Black. Team Black can still spindle the web that they are looking to catch their prey in.
Absolutely, and as we also spoke about, they've won their first round now in round number 5, and that's a major point for them. Just at first, for them to say, okay, we are not in this match. We have got ourselves up on the scoreboard, but in the second of all, you won't hit this standing situation of standing with your back against the wall immediately after the round swell. You have won 1 round, you can still have 1 loss in the defense yourself without having to say goodbye in the first map. You have 1 fault play, but immediately you will just say, okay, we have 1 fault we potentially could play, but let's focus upon ourselves and say we don't need that one. We will turn this match. But so on, now we're like 1 minute in the game. We have an approach from the other side of the map. There's no movement towards drum or shrine. At least now we have some droning happening. But there's just no movement forward happening. And that costs Team Black so much time, after my opinion. Time that they don't have.
Well, the thing to really keep track of is the fact that we are seeing that opening engagement inside of drum. C4 goes out, but isn't actually finding anyone as of this point. Is going to just keep it stale, keep it held on that lower area. I think that was it getting detonated right there, and well, it's not going to be great for them as they didn't find anything. They've traded 2 for 1, and well, while that could be good for the attacking side, losing that one on the shrine window isn't going to be great. No cover there to find the refrag, and we are going to be seeing the man of the Frost, Maxim, postured back behind that shield as the Roterodrone is going to take it off the board. He takes a swing, finds Mankai, is found through the wall by Quake, and now we're going to be seeing a bit more of this round unfold. A 2 versus 2 situation, winnable for both sides, as now the Ace and the Flores have to come up against these utility pieces off the mirror. The pre-placed Wamai disc is going to be there to catch the first Selma charge. And well, we do still have these two very powerful guns on side. The Vector in the hands of the Mirror, the SMG-11 in the hands of Guard, one of the highest DPS guns in the game in the Mute's hands right now, as we are going to be seeing a bit of a push towards this Dragon side. They know there's less contention over here. They're trying to get themselves into meeting. A bit of a contention over the top from the Mirror is going to be able to deal a bit of damage, but not able to find anything, as Guard is going to be there to find Quake, and Silverback falls to 06. And that's going to be a 5-1 half in favor of Team Fennix.
A 5-1 half now for Fennix. It leads a good direction for how this match is going so far, and will continue to go, after my opinion. But either way, the key factor of this round going into the head of Fennix was, after my opinion, the play of Maxime into Dragons. He finds the perfect timing to come out of his shield, back shield position, to push that one on the Shrine when they're jumping in. Just one on the Shrine when just has no chance of whipping up his side onto Maxime. So he gets one nearly free pick from the window, because the one jumping in from the window has no physical help from the Shrine doors or from Shrine top to just help him get a refrag or so on. And then once again, Kai comes up with the Ash, peeking him behind the shield, because he thought, okay, I have a Flores. The first drone comes through onto the shield. The shield gets disrupted, but either way, Maxime already has moved in front with a great timing, just to maybe surprise Kai there and getting a second kill before he then gets traded out, and so on. A 5 against 3 situation turned into a 2 against 2 situation in that pack. So on, we have played that first round there, and now we are back after the role swap, and I'm really much concerned to see how this will go, because Fennix looks so much better, after my opinion.
The setup from the side of Fennix, just getting themselves ready to actually start taking a bit of ground here, as Mankai going to be positioned over on the exhibition side, seeing if he can find anything for himself, but it's just going to be falling off a little bit as the Scatia wall gets fully opened. The Cade not there to trick, and is going to be a bit worrisome for the defense if they're not able to deal with much of that. Buck takes a little bit of damage, but it's only from the electrification. He's not too worried. And now, with the pressure being applied over towards Meeting and Drum, Team Black are actually going to have to start fending for themselves here.
They're about to do the show, as he's told. As we see now, 1 minute 30 left on the clock. Half of the round is gone. And the same as the problem looked into Team Black's end, also Fennix struggles a little bit with the approach onto this first spot. Getting met up high by Malachi into Drums. He has pulled back out of that situation, though. But either way, there's no more push into Drums. But now Malachi falls after Drums gets pushed. They get enough pressure down there. And the same matter of fact, Guard falls through. Chiron gets Guard. Silverback pulled out by Chiron. And now Fennix is just moving up, and Fennix is moving through here. With ball to wrist, just moving in at Geisha, where his teammate, the Hibana, just fell like 15 seconds ago, meeting up with the Azami in the last gunfight of this round. And so on. After round 7, we have a Fennix lead of 6-1, and this means match point time in round number 8. And this map could absolutely turn into a horrible nightmare for Team Black if this will be the end. As we see a timeout pulled by Team Black after Chiron is left out of this match. We surely think and hope that he will reconnect. But as that will go on, we have a small timeout, and so on. Then let's look on the stats here. We just see 06 and Maxime running up to top here on Fennix with 9 and 8 frags. As the side of Team Black is up on top, we only have Quake with 6-5 standing up positive, Schlewer with only 2 frags, Manaka with 3, Silverback still on an O streak, dropping the donut here in a 6-1, and it just shows Fennix is up, awake, and ready to this brawl. They're just up to the fight, and really with their heads in the game, just saying, okay, let's do this, let's win this. even though when you look at Team Black, is a quite solid team, a very good team that, as I said earlier, has performed quite well in the past stage, but they're not looking good here. They're absolutely not looking good. And as it looks, we are continuing with 4 players. No, we're not continuing as the other players are going to leave. We are going for a rehost. And if Naj doesn't have anything more to adapt here, I would say let's have a small break, shouldn't we?
Well, yeah. Let's cut to the break, see if the Foxes can finalize this map and also move themselves to Night Haven. So we'll see you there. Peace.
See you there. Take over.
Hello and welcome back. The potential final round of Skyscraper is about to be underway as we see these teams prepare themselves for, well, a bit of a matchup in this first map. We did get to see one side fight tooth and nail for a very comfortable victory, and we get to see the other team keep themselves in the game, keep themselves ready to move on to their own map pick. Because, well, the funny part about this scoreline right now is this is Team Black's map pick. Which is pretty astonishing to see Fennix be so far ahead.
Especially, let's place our cards on the board here. I would have gone long run with Team Black here and saying, okay, they will absolutely annihilate Team Fennix on their map. I haven't seen so much footage from Team Black on Night Haven, especially I have not seen Fennix play on Night Haven, so that would be a very interesting map pick that could go either way. But on Skyscraper, that I've seen many times from Team Black, after my opinion, I sort of said, okay, Fennix won't stand a chance here. But as it looks, as of from now, Team Fennix is absolutely annihilating Team Black on their own map pick, and that is both astonishing but also scary, after my opinion. Because Fennix had to give away 2 free wins in the first stage, after my opinion, or after my knowledge. And now they're standing up tall against a team that played quite interesting, really well played Siege in the first stage. And so on, this is a matchup that I really saw Team Black in the head of, but I'm getting showed here that I'm so wrong.
Yeah, by statistics, there is a lot more in the way of Team Black, and they really do have a lot more potential in this matchup based on their results. But on the opposite side, we see Fennix, one of those teams that is a bit of an unknown factor. They beat Eagle Empire, yes, but the 2 teams they were put against straight after that are French Power, who are an extremely good wildcard, as far as we've seen in a couple of their matches, 2-0ing Team Misclick, who are a team that, yes, placed very far down, but are a team that have been very formidable in the past. And, well, they also went on to play against Entropy in game number 4, which, yes, ended 7-2 in favor of Entropy, but is also an extremely scary matchup. We have just seen first kill found by the ace of Ball on that window repel. And Bolter is going to be just getting himself a little bit more pre-positioned. It's going to be the mute that goes off the board, so that's a C4 that was in pocket that's now no longer there. And it's left to the rest of the team to find out if they can confirm this matchup, confirm this round for themselves, get themselves a bit further footed into this game, and maybe even reach that fabled overtime. As Whiskey Glitter says, they need to be good for 5 now.
Absolutely. And as we know, see, so much time runs down from the clock. You've only 40 seconds left, and as soon as we hit the 40 seconds retaining mark, we see 2 more kills for Ball, get another kill onto Quake. Also, Maxim falls into the hands of Schlevo here. Not Schlevo, but into the hands of Monica here. Now Schlevo finds his kill on 06 Fennix here. And that way we have a 3-on-3 standing. 20 seconds left on the clock. Diffuser in hand. What shall Fennix do? Should they try to do an entry, from Geisha. Yes, they do. And now, from that position on, they will try to carry on into Karaoke. As they try, Kaiser falls down. So Manakai also gets ball. And then the time runs out as the IQ rappels away from the window. Does not getting taken care of, denying this triple kill from the hand of Manakai. So on first round of match point denied by Team Black with a new standing of 6-2 now. It looks like a little bit more life is coming to the Team Black's hands, but can they make 4 straight rounds? What are your thoughts about that, Nash?
Well, a couple things to say. Wonderful round there from the side of Mankai. Mankai actually managed to get himself some footing in the later portion of that round. Found one through the wall, got the injury, and then took the engagement against the ace, even though he was exposing himself to the window. And that went very well for him. He managed to take the surprise engagement, give his team a little bit of an opening to be able to isolate these players and not allow that plan to go down. The other thing is, well, I'm a little worried for Team Black here. The simple reason why is because, yes, they've managed to find a round, but it seems like they've got a relatively 50-50 on the actual, performance on a site, especially with how they played T-Room in the previous matchup. And I think the thing that we've really got to consider here is, do they need to feel out their opponent in the first round of defending a site in order to be able to actually be able to find the win? And if that's the case, we could be seeing them lose out a little bit here, and we could be seeing them struggle in map numbers 2 and potentially 3.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, they're struggling on their own map in the behalf of a map that they have played so often. It scares me a little because as the way we're seeing Team Black playing as of the moment, I've not seen them play that way. It looks like they're a little bit scared to do something. They're scared to try something after mapping it. It looks like someone is holding something, or someone is holding them down, saying, "Play that safe, play like that, play like that." Because it looks so restrained in. It doesn't look like they're playing open-minded like they always do, with always getting someone to get the right solution into his head. And just do a play-by-play, like do one thing after a time. It looks like, okay, we have to do so many things at once, and we're not having a single second of control of our own spot. Neither in the attack they did, neither does it in the defense.
I'd like to quickly touch on is the fact that bringing along this Thatcher, a lot of people see the Thatcher nowadays as a relatively useless operator with the introduction of the impact EMPs and also the prolificity of Kali in a lot of these situations. When it comes down to this sort of situation, though, we do see the Thatcher being used not to open the wall, but instead to clear out these Wamai magnets in order to allow the Ash to be able to actually break the mirror. So a really beautiful combination from those two, and there is going to be a peek by Schlewu on the stairs as he finds one, 06 falls, Chiron finds another onto guard, and now we see Fennix on the back foot. Schlewu goes for another, finds his second for the round, but Bolterers is there to find his own onto Chiron. Quiet time now as we are going to be looking underneath this table towards the reception side. Schlewu finds another to the man that was going to be trying to make his way in through the breach. Now it's an ace to win. If he does want it, can he find it? No, Schlewu is the one to end the round.
So on, Schlewu picks up a quad kill here, and as I said in round number 8, it looks like Team Black is getting more lives, or more, I would say more focus back in their heads, some better vision in their eyes, and a little bit more mentality into this game. And so they're strengthening themselves. We now have a big play by Manakai in the 8th round. Now in the 9th round, we had Schlewu picking up an awesome quad kill for his team here. So then they have denied 2 match points so far from Team Fennix, with 2 more likely single outplayed situations after my opinion. So on it, really, we have to see it and stick it through if Team Black now begins to play a little bit more like a team, or it's still going to stand on these solo actions that we have seen so far. If it will stick onto the solo actions, I think this will be a pretty hard game for Team Black to come back from still, as they still need 3 more points to go through the overtime. But if they, from now, just spontaneously begin to play like a team, and the solo actions begins to become a team actions, we can see a Team Black coming back from a phenomenal first half.
The thing that I am also a little concerned about for the side of Team Black is something I've noticed since they've been at this match point for the side of Team Fennix, is they only have 1 man on the room. And 1 man on the room's fine until you think about the fact that, well, 4 of your other players are just bunkering on site, meaning it's going to be very, very easy to isolate and even extrapolate that single player that is going to be just wandering around. There is going to be a vertical angle on that bathroom window, one of my favorite ones to use in ranked because people just don't check it. You find one, and that's going to be very good for your team. It isn't confirmed, but it's going to be very weak throughout the remainder of this round. Oh, the tubby.
And now we see once more how important this combo with the Tuberal can be. It's disrupting so much ground. We see some hardened effects with the mute jammer here not going through, with the ace charge being disrupted by the Tuberal once again. And as we see, we have lost 1 minute 30 on the clock. Half of the round of round 10 is now passed and gone. And there have only been a few actions. Level with losing some health, Maxim losing some health, 06 being down once. But else then, we haven't had any more harder approaches as soon as we're seeing. There's a little bit more like a standoff. No one is really moving so far off. We have another drop down, but still Team Black is holding the top floor control. Team Fennix doesn't look quite interested in doing something more aggressively, pushing onto the side. Schlever here on a 5-0 streak until now. That's nearly impressive if you look on the stats that Schlever had in the first half here beforehand of the rehost. No, Team Fennix is looking to get some more impact here as Kyron puts out the 06. Manakai gets a guard. Maxim gets Schlever ending his streak here on that landing. So on that, we have a 4 against 2 situation, and it looks pretty much good for Team Black once again now. With holding control, either there only is 30 seconds left on the clock. Bolteriz gets the next kill on Kyron. Only 1 more man in advantage, but Maxim also so horribly low. Can this be another round for Team Black? As Manakai gets his next one, Bull is out of the game, so as all stands on Maxim. And let him have 50 or 20 health points, and Quake puts an end. Also to Maxim, we have seen 3 match points getting denied now, and sooner or later, now my dear fellas out there, Team Black is showing their strengths.
Very high potential for this to go to round number 12 at a minimum, as we are at round 11 already. 7-4 is the scoreline that Fennix is going to be looking for in this round, and well, 3 rounds in was the point where we saw the side of Team Black, if I remember correctly, actually be able to secure a round. And if it goes the same this way, then there's very high potential that we could see. Oh no, it was round 4 actually, because we missed a round, wasn't it? Yeah. So round number 5 was the round that was found. So realistically, if they lose this, the next round is going to be their final attempt, as we already knew. But they did already find one for their half. So if it goes even, we are going to be seeing a 6-6, but potential to end this out here and now, as we are going to be seeing this tea and karaoke hole. Something that people may not have realized is last round, we were actually in kitchen barbecue. And until the very end, they didn't really play it.
Yeah, there was no approach in the first floor, as we saw. Just came up with Maxim dropping down from split there the last 10 seconds. But after all, there's nothing more for Maxim to do. Even though the approach, there were 3 mans just waiting for him. Either he came in from split, dropping down, or if he came from a reception or from the toilet angles. There were enough players on the first floor from Team Black here to just wait and stand off until he will show himself. So on that was a quite good round with an extremely strong hold in the second floor from above here from Team Black, not giving Team Fennix any type of round to play from above as of 30 seconds last into the round. So then we now have to wait and see if Fennix may find some more better ways, or as they may try to pick up their adaptations again to find ways to disrupt the defensive play of Team Black. Also maybe find some answers on the approach of the spot, as they again are having control of Geisha quite early on in the round, but there's still no entry put on in from that angle at all after 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock.
I think both teams are really suffering from success here when it comes down to their attacks. We're seeing a lot of this sort of question mark style of gameplay. They're playing very methodically. They're taking a bit too long to be able to get themselves in and rooted on towards these important power positions. And when they do, they're not moving nearly enough to be able to actually isolate any of these defenders. And instead, they're just being isolated themselves. They find one on the defensive side. 06 is going to be the man to fall, as he is already 0-4. It's not really a major pick. We are just seeing a bit of a peek through the footholes, and Frost is found as, well, that kind of rhymes with lost and found. Guard jumps into a Frost mat. We're now going to be seeing these remaining players take a few engagements. Chiron finds Guard in the Frost mat. And now, with Bolter is going down as well, that means the kit's cold on the ground. Kaiser finds one, Maxim finds another. It's a 2v2 situation. One of the men is on the roam, the other one's on the black stairs. Both of their positions are known. One goes around for the flank on the attack, and it looks like Kaiser wants to go for the diffuser. He's now making his way back through towards this default plant, runs onto the couch, and Buck's going to be below in order to try and hold it down. The Valcam's giving them a bit of information. He tries to take an engagement onto Goyo, does find the kill. The impacts from below are going to isolate him a little bit as he thinks the Valk is still hanging around. He wants to take the peek onto the stairs. No, she's going to be there. Finds the kill, and Fennix end the match 7-4.
Yeah. Silva just finding another kill onto the block down in the first elevation, but then leaving his teammate with the Goyo completely alone. The Goyo, after my opinion, is way too aggressive here. There are only 20 seconds left on the clock. Why do you dare push him alone? That was such a thrown away round, after my opinion, for Team Blacker. As of this round, they had the advantage of only 20 seconds left on the clock. Yes, he had a diffuser. Yes, you couldn't disrupt him from below because you threw both your iconic grenades and did not finish him off with the Valkyrie there. But as you still had Manakai on the Goyo, you still also had Silverback on the Valkyrie. So you had a potential 2v1 situation on just pushing him together. Well, that play didn't work out. Valkyrie had the fault that she was yellow pinged on the stairs, made it an easy choice for the Flourish to go on that kill. He then surely puts it on, maybe misabled a little bit, but still had the better ending, getting the kill out undone. And so on that, Fennix leads 1-0 after the first map. And now, as Nosh said earlier, we're going on to Night Haven Labs as the second map, and that is the map pick for surely of Fennix Esports. So now we have Fennix in a good favor here, winning solidly on the first map against Team Black on their map pick. And now we are back in a safe haven as we see Night Haven Labs, the map pick of Team Fennix.
Well, when it comes down to the win rates of these maps in particular, I do have two sets of stats. And those two stats are going to be the actual stats from ESA and also the EUL Stage 1 stats for each of the individual maps. And the reason why I do the EUL Stage 1 stats is because realistically, a lot of these teams take a lot of these strats and really try and put them into fruition. And the thing that I'd like to touch on is overall in EUL, Bedroom hasn't been played on Skyscraper. And we saw the same here in this matchup. 67% win rate on Kitchen Barbecue. 55% win rate on Office Exhibition, and 71% win rate on Tea and Karaoke. Now, that is pretty unbelievable for defenders, even in this defensive meta. The only map more defender-sided than that, or the only maps, should I say, are Consulate and Oregon. specifically in Pro League. Whereas looking at the ESA stats, we do have well, we can't really look at individual site statistics, but we can look at side statistics. And there is only 32.5% of rounds won on the attack in all of the matches that are played, not including that last one. And now we're going to be moving on to Nighthaven, which in ESA has actually been relatively attacker-sided. Barely, but 52.3%. So, ignoring the 0.3, 52%, pretty decent. It's not awful. Means a 3-3 half could be a very default split. And then in the UL, something we've seen is it's actually attacker favored. 55% overall, with again only 3 other sites being played. It is storage control, assembly and tank, and command center servers. We haven't actually seen the other first floor site, which is kitchen. So 67% win rate on storage control, only being played 3 times. So that means it's been won twice, lost once. So we can't really regard that too much or too heavily. Assembly tank has a 25% win rate for the defenders, and that's been played 8 times. So that's one that's a little more sort of favorable. It's been won twice and lost 6 times. Whereas we have command center servers, which is 55% defender sided. So this could be one of those maps where we definitely see a very, very even split. So I'm very, very excited to see sort of how these teams do perform. And obviously with Fennix starting out on the attack, this is where we do really see them start to try and put things into motion, get themselves some momentum, and see if they can actually bring this out in a 2-0 as the underdogs for this matchup.
Yeah, we will just pretty much have to be a wait and see. But after all, I really have to say, even though you just read up onto the stats, especially on the Nighthaven, after my opinions, the map is still a little bit favored in the hands of the defenders. So on that, after my opinion, every single round that Fennix might win in the attacks now, even though they will definitely win some. But I think as soon as they win 3 or maybe get the major change onto 4 wins potential in the attacks, that will be a complete neck breaker for Team Black. Team Black really have to get in full force here with full strength, for full concentration to just deny that from happening. I really much hope for Team Black to get a 4-2, maybe also getting a 5-1 split that I think they will be capable on, even though it is the mapping of Fennix. But that is the target they really have to drill forward to and say, we will have to put on a sign here onto Fennix and say, hey, you won our mapping. We can pretty much do the same thing. And if I don't see a 4-2 roll swap, at least in the first half, I'm pretty much concerned that this map will run away from Team Black faster than they can say fast. On that matter of fact, I really much think Fennix will have a good map, but I pretty much hope for Team Black to get on through this map, because I really would love to see a third map win this matchup, because this matchup is close. It wasn't close in the beginning, but Team Black came back, and so on. Then I pretty much look forward to a match that will be so close in the continuance.
Yeah, Fennix, the Firefoxes left to fight in the labs are going to be against the spiders. And well, if we know anything about mutant spiders in laboratories, that's how Spider-Man gets made. So we're going to be seeing how these teams do decide to perform, and whether one of these teams is able to pull off those heroics that they are really looking for. At the moment, we're just waiting for this map to start, as well, there is going to be a little bit of a delay for us.
But so on
underway for the other side.
But so on, let's give him a more rough approach on this. I say we see a 7-4 for Team Black. What would your pre-predictions before the map be?
I wouldn't have expected it to go that way for a start. And Secondly, I wouldn't have predicted it to be that close. However, now we've seen map number 1, and we've seen how these two teams are performing, especially on the defense. I think there is a high likelihood we can see overtime, but
Okay.
I don't think we will. I think Fennix are going to look at the holes that they had in their attack, and realistically, I think we come out of this half with either equal or 4-2 in favor of Fennix.
Okay.
And once we go onto the defense, we really start to see them shine. We are going into the match, and I'll be running you through the bans and seeing what we actually do get taken away from us. Beforehand, we had Thermite, Solace, Fenrir, and Ying taken out on Sky, and we are going to be seeing probably something pretty similar here. The only difference is the sheer size of this map in comparison to Sky. Sky is very linear. Sky is very straight across, very tight corridors and small rooms. Whereas on Labs, you have some of those tight corridors and small rooms, but you also have some wide open spaces with things in the way. So Ying going to be one of those very sort of integral bans, one of those that we see very often, and more than likely a bit more of an intel denial sort of approach for the opposite side. I think that's probably what they're going to be going for their attacker ban, and it is going to be that Monty, that walking drone himself is going to be the man they take off the board, for the simple reason they don't want a lone shield walking down staircase and giving his team pings, because that is pretty much what he's used for nowadays. And also with shields being upgraded in the recent changes, they are super duper oppressive. So on the defensive side, there it is. There's the Solace, there's the intel denial for both, and more than likely we'll see the entry denial from the side of Team Black. And I imagine that that specific entry denial operator is going to be Fenrir.
Let's see if you will be right. We have only 3 more seconds here to see. And you're right. I would really love to say that I'm surprised, but I ain't. Because Souls and Fenrir are like the most, for the first of all, the most reasonable bans still on the console meta, but it's also still the most banned in the ratio that we have had in the past casts, but also in the past seasons. So it isn't surprising at all, because still Souls is such a good operator with not being buffed still with the incomings with her gadgets. She's still so good with hunting on drones, stealing utility and stealing intel from the attackers. But either also the Fenrir is still a defender that I really don't see any type of counter against, but especially not only to bring a IQ. And we know you're not bringing an IQ very often to counter a Fenrir.
Also, something I'd like to quickly touch on is we were seconds away there from seeing the Valkyrie instead of the Vigil, which means that would have meant the 3 remaining members of the Big 5 that aren't banned would have all been on the board. However, Silverback quickly switched on to the Vigil and inversed the playstyle of his team, as instead of playing very informational, very sort of movement-centric, they're still going to be playing along that movement, and they're still going to be playing that roam. But this time around, they're actually changing it to instead play a lot more close to this sort of intel avoidance style of play. And, well, we do see there aren't many people on site. There probably is going to be vertical angles above, but the Maverick is going to just be making holes onto the wall to be able to face off against this mirror. The thermite charge goes out, and 06 is already in on the site. They've managed to get one, but it's not yet confirmed, as 2 members of the team, Fennix, have fallen and have been confirmed. One more falls,
third
gets confirmed very, very quickly, as now we're going to be seeing this Dekebi make her way through as she tries to contest against that reinforcement. I think it's got a mirror window on it, but they aren't quite able to deal with it this soon. A bit of an engagement against the Azami above. Mankai finds that kill for himself, and now we're going to be seeing the Maverick with it all to do. Bolter is in the 1 versus 5 clutch situation. Is he able to find one? Is he able to find none? Or are we going to be seeing him run down the timer in order to give his team some probably pretty angry words of advice in the upcome towards the next round? He does find his first, and now he's going to be taking the peek onto the mirror window. Knows the castle is going to be eager to try and take the swing, but decides to play it a little closer to the chest. Takes the swing onto Mankai above and gets himself taken out pretty quickly. And that is going to be the round in favour of Team Black, winning out round number 1 on the most defender-sided site on the map.
I won't be
second most.
I ain't surprised at all that this round goes into the hands of Team Black because of the spa, but I'm pretty much overwhelmed that it went the way it did, because you saw an Ashe, but not only Ashe, but also some more helpers of her team get into the spot really fairly straight up onto the round, pushing up on Schlevel with the mirror. But Schlevel does what he does best. He gets one kill, gets down, gets his teammate to back him up because of the close standings of getting help with the frag and refrag. And then fairly, Schlevel is only down, and for his down, Team Black gains 3 kills. And then another kill gained by the vertical angle that you spoke from earlier. It's so much easier to play vertically from the top elevation downwards instead of downwards upwards. And that showed into especially that angle held by Monica, who's getting 2 capitalized kills from that one single spot.
I do entirely understand why it's the case, but I am going to be like pretty disappointed if pretty much all we see from the side of Team Black's defense is them playing the Azami in the mirror. However, because they're playing the Azami in the mirror, they've only really got the Cade for the wall denial alongside the Tuberal to give a little bit of a hand, but not really able to do everything. Not really able to do all of the work that's necessary to keep this wall closed. And I think more than likely it's just going to be a burnable utility piece, especially with Ace and Thermite both being on the cards. Obviously, Ace is going to be trying to get this backside push, and it's going to be the gridlock of Bolter to just open up this wall, give himself a few more angles in and on towards the connector side, not generator, as the floor being opened beneath the mirror. Mirror gets opened, and now we're going to be seeing a much more favourable position for these attackers and gives them a bit more contention on towards the actual back pillar side itself. We see the Ashe jump in through the window and see if she can get herself rooted in towards this generator side, see if she can find a pick on towards the site. Does see Tuberal for just a split second, but backs off, doesn't quite know that people are close, but here's the Org fire away. So now the mirror going to be rotating back over towards that back pillar side, see if she can find one for herself, but it's going to be Mankind to find the first. A bit of an engagement close on the door. Mirror so close to finding Ashe if she was just a little closer to that head, but instead we see the breach contention come through. Silverback finds Maxim, but Maxim finds Quake first, and now as Cade goes down, we are going to be seeing a bit more contention onto the site. Found by God, as now it's just Chiron against the world. He doesn't know this man is as close as he is, but gets caught as he runs past the head hole. Guard with at least 3 in that round.
Major step on here from Guard. He stepped his game up in this round, getting so close and onto the nerves of Team Black here, getting not only the first of the kite into the corner, but then commits the last bullet onto the Azami, and then standing so close for the last operator here in the hands of Team Black, just nearly just taking him absolutely by surprise and taking that round into the hands of Fennix by himself. But on that, we had a more likely, I would say like a shaky way of build-up. It was a shaky type of lineup as well in the defender operator lineup, after my opinion. And on Sin, we still see the same lineup also in this round. I'm pretty much not convinced of this lineup holding up against the 2 breachers, especially not the way Fennix played the last round. It showed that this build-up style that Team Black had is so vulnerable. So then I'm pretty much interested to see how they will adapt and maybe just adjust their build-up and place it, and maybe on also the positionings. Then maybe try to hold one breach a little bit longer, because both breaches fell quite fairly fast, in my opinion. So on that, we just have to see how well, Team Black can find any solutions about these breaches not going up so terribly fast.
Indeed, now, as the K-trick is going to be attempted once again on the wall, they are aware, and, well, that's what the Thatcher's for. All they need to do is really burn out these Zoto canisters as and when they can. The Azami is going to be posted up on the rafters once again, and we are seeing the mirror again. So these two members of the big three are just going to be a mainstay in this matchup for the time being. And I think the thing that I miss most about a few years ago in Siege is the big five realistically just being one of the big five being the bloody Cade. I miss the time where we really had like that Cade versus Thatcher 1v1, and we had a lot of this time burn from these defenders. But at the moment, it has just become very much, can you brute force yourself through whatever you need to? C4 goes out, isn't able to find its mark, goes to the wrong location. As now the thermite charge actually going to be committed onto the wall, but the Zoto canister going to be there to deny it. Does, I think, reclaim his thermite charge off of the frozen wall, because you can, and is more than likely going to be trying to go for it again. Doesn't actually claim it by the looks of things.
Bull, though, gets the first kill and opens up this round. As it looks like God lost his second termite breach there as well. Kyron getting a Maxim, Mankai picking up God. Also, Kaiser falls into the hands of Kyron. And now it's 06 and Bull left on the clock here against 3 of Team Black's members, but Kyron takes some fairly damage in the gunfights against both. But Mankai gets 06, and so then a double kill for him. And it's only Bull left here on the roster of Fennix. 30 seconds left on the clock, 3 opponents to take on. He gets the first, gets Silver back, but Mankai gets also Bull in a refrag. So on then, a triple kill for Mankai in that 3rd round, and so on then. Team Black stays in the lead after the equalizer done by Team Fennix in round number 2.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot there from the final player, just to quickly find that last kill before eventually being dispatched of. And now we're going to be moving into a favorable half so far for the side of Team Black, and this is where you really start to get a bit of promise for them. But with them losing around so early, it's not very likely that they are going to be able to get this 5-1 half, or even a good 4-2 half that they really want to look for. And this is where things get a bit better for Fennix, as they are really able to start pushing and prodding on towards what is being set up by this team. And we are going to be seeing the 3 remaining members of the Big Five. As I keep saying, we have the Valkyrie, who is, for some reason, just kind of falling out of the rotation, even though there's been literally no changes. She's still just as great as she used to be. And now we're going to be seeing her comboed alongside the Mirror and the Azami, as we saw before. This, for people that aren't aware, is Team Fennix's map, as the last map was Team Black's, and it was won by Team Fennix. So now we are going to be just looking at their attack and the way they do decide to play things. As well, they're going to want to try and dispatch of Team Black in 2-0 fashion to really assert their stature in this tournament, or league, sorry. Valkyrie quickly dealt with on the generator side.
Quite good of a sweep, not getting disrupted here. 06 getting Silver back, straight back from his first gunfight here into connector. So that now Bull gets some shots dealt. Surely that saw him down there in like for 2.5 seconds there, but he gets out of that situation against Quake, I think. No, 06 comes to rescue, comes to commit into that situation. That situation though withdrawn with Quake pulled back and down again in the first elevation. Maxim though going down against Mankai, and now we have an equal situation here against 4-on-4 here. But as I said on earlier, and as you mentioned, the big five. And as I'm just going to contact the production, could we maybe get Nash a t-shirt with the top with the big five? He's mentioned it
Hey, this
so
is
many
Glitter's thing.
times
This is
here.
Glitter's thing. I just keep bringing it up because Glitter reminded me that there is a big 5 on the defense.
But Glitter has the t-shirt. You still need one. But so on that, as we mentioned, those may be back into the roster here, but it surely works. And it just shows why these operators are in these top 5 and why they're getting banned so much. These operators are so effective, especially on maps like Nighthaven, and they're so incredibly good. They're a good weaponaries to steal time in the early rounds, and then they are so incredibly good to build up a fortress for the last phase of those rounds. Now we have Bull just sneaking upon Manikai, picking up the first, getting the second on the Quake here. Slevo then really surely picks him up a little surely or later. Then Kyron gets 06, and now we have Kyron alone against Kaiser and Guard. Kaiser on the planet, Guard aiming it off, and Kyron running into the hands of God. And so on then, Fennix once again turns the cards in their favor, getting a new equalizer here to a standing of 2-on-2 in round number 4. Now we're heading into round 5, and Fennix is looking fantastic.
That was a really good execute from the side of Fennix. Really found the opening to get themselves in and onto the site, and really found a way to, just isolate a few of these players that are on the roam. They managed to find the Valve. They dealt with her pretty quickly. It was pretty well done by the Jackal, who was playing inside of the connector, and also pretty well played from the team as a whole to be able to work together between Bolteriz and also I think 06, who was the Jackal last round, to be able to, clear out that top floor, figure out that the castle was rotating back to site, get yourself in to be able to catch out these players upon their rotation and actually be able to win yourself the round. And I think this is where we could see this even half come underway and come into fruition for Fennix. Whereas, on the opposite side, once Fennix go onto the defense, this is going to be scary for Team Black.
It could potentially be scary, but also now nothing here is lost. We have a 2-on-2. Yeah, after my opinion, I said it is slightly defender favored, but as you also read into the stats, it is okay. I say it is defender favored. It's my opinion, but after the stats, it is equal, with more likely being a little bit more attacker based or favored, as you just said, and interrupted me once again. But I don't see that. I see that it is a fair matchup, especially with these two teams. They're getting downed from the opponents, but they're immediately getting refragged. It is so close. There are so many gunfights happening here with ending in refrags, with a saving refrag in this case especially. It's the second or third time already that I see a saving refrag in the hands of Team Black here. But once again, now Quake getting the kill by God. Manaka once again on the refrag onto God. No, we still have a 3 against 2 situation. Kaiser and Bull in the hands of Team Fennix left. On the other hand, we have Kyron, Manaka, and Schlevel left for Team Black. We are still in the basement floor. Kaiser getting... No, not Kaiser. Bull getting the kill onto Kyron. So we have equal situation of 2 against 2 here. And it is a Turner once again. Now equalized. Slightly with the advantage in the hands of the attackers now.
Yeah, with these players dead on the defensive side, they are going to be hovering around on cameras as that Valkyrie is on side. They have a pre-placed C4 inside of the site. The and the diffuser, is going to be recovered by the attack. Drones just dropping into the site to try and pick out the locations of a couple of these defenders, see if they can find the final 2 that are going to be competing against them. And, well, they know there's going to be a lot of vertical angles in play, so now it's time for them to make their own. Maxim going to be just trying to take a bit of contention through the upper portion of the holes, just to see if he can, catch out the player that is going to be watching from a little further back, but doesn't quite find it. Now, as he opens the hatch, gets himself ready for a bit of a cargo sweep as he moves his way through the mirror on the opposite side. No opportunities for refrags here for these defenders, but Shlowu and Mankai are the two people you want alive in this situation as well. They're two players with a lot of proven promise. Shlowu finds his first, Kaiser falls. Now it's going to be the remaining player of Bolt who is to try and bust his way into the site, but isn't able to bolt himself in before Shlowu puts a bullet into his cranium. And that is going to be 3-2 so far to the defensive side of Team Black.
And so far, so good for Team Black. Once again, they get a good head-on start. They make 2 great recovery kills to deny a teammate from dying. Then they lose themselves a little bit, get themselves a little bit themselves in the way, losing 2 more of their own, getting into a 2v2 situation. But as you said, in a 2v2 situation, and the last seconds running down from the clock, the 2 people you want to have alive are Manakai and Shlevo, one's on. And so on that, Schlevel plays it so brilliantly, staying close in assembly. When he hears the sound, he takes the swing. He is not scared of taking that swing. He gets the first, baiting out the other, following him into the side. And in that case, in the most times as well, that room where he chased him in the bowl is so incredibly huge. And Schlevel, with like having 2 or 3 seconds ahead, he could be anywhere in that room. So that was maybe an odd move from Bolt to take. It was a risky one. He committed in, tried to odd-on out Schlevo. That didn't quite work. So then Schlevo picked also up on that kill, getting his team in the lead once more with 3-on-2. And so on. It still stays a fairly close matchup.
That it has is now, even though it's 3-2 to these defenders, it's not promising that they will win this round. They are going back upstairs, which they have managed to secure at least once for themselves, but the setup is the same. The Zoto canisters still in pocket. The Kaid claws still in pocket. And now, as we see some contention onto the angles underneath, we are going to be seeing these attackers, or these defenders, sorry, back themselves up a little bit. No shots fired yet through the Maverick holes as well. Mankai is going to be there, DMR in hand, to be able to throw those Zoto canisters on towards the breach. Cade's going to be the first man to fall as he takes a swing in towards Generator and starts to try and contest. Maverick getting a little frozen, getting a little worried because he's a bit close to his footholes as he wants to try and take his drone into rafters, see if he can find the player that is going to be on the opposite side, and it's going to be a full reinforcement from the mirror to make sure that no one is able to contest her any further. They know the stakes of this round. They know that if they go to an equal half, it's likely that they will not win this game. And they know that Fennix, as much as they might not have the results, they're locked in and they've put a lot of work into getting themselves into this position.
They have put in a lot of work. But as I already wanted to mention in the second round, one major impact having for Team Fennix, after my opinion, you see so many yellow pings running down in the late rounds.
Oh my
they
goodness.
always know where the opponents are standing or coming from, and that gives them a huge advantage. And now also Cairo will get the push on guard. He also gets a swing turn around on Kaiser. I didn't think about that. Meanwhile, the 06 getting the plant down, and so the diffuser's planted for the first time on this map, and Bol gets Karen, as Karen seems not to care one slight bit about where his opponents are standing or planning at. Bol gets the second kill on Manakai, and so we have an equal half, 3-on-3 into the role swap, and that may also be the first nails in the coffin of Team Black in this ESA series.
Well, this is the first match of the playoffs, as you just acknowledged, and it could be our first 2-0, as Fennix are looking to really run away with this game. They are the Foxes, and well, they've brought them to their own den. We're seeing a lot of equality, especially with them on their attacking side, but this time, it's going to be the side of Team Black to pick up the pieces on the attack.
So now we will have to wait and see what Team Black can potentially draw out of this. They have shown us they have some struggles in the attack on Skyscraper. I surely hope they have found out some way to answer on the builders or the playstyle of Fennix. So we'll see a better end here on this second map. So I really much hope for Team Black to fairly quick find an adaptation way and also a conclusion onto the way how to approach Team Fennix now. It is a new map. Fennix is in the first of their defenses on this map now in this second half. So on then it will be a harsh one for Team Black to find an answer from. Very prompt especially. But sooner or later they will have to. And as sooner they find it, as better it may be. Because we are in the playoffs. This is the second map. Fennix already won the first map. So if you lose this map, the second map, in the favor of Team Black, then you're out of this competition. So you really don't have any more room or grounds to lose here or to play about. Manica gets opening up the first round here, getting the mirror out of the game with Maxime that in round picked. So on, we have an advantage for Team Black in their first attack. Either way, it took them a minute. But now also they have the full approach to push on from warehouse onto catwalk, as there's no more operators standing in that position. You're getting forced out here, but Schlever also gets that kill on Bull. So now 2 more operators in the hand of Team Black, and also 06 then goes for the commitment against Schlever. He finally can capitalize on his chances, putting on Schlever into this deep sleep for this round. So then 1 minute and 30 left on the clock, and now we have a little bit slow-paced game.
Yeah, the Keeper Barricade is going to be blocking this Rafters door as well. The breaching round from Ash does go through, and considering opening up the mirror window is going to be that player standing behind it, but instead tries to take the swing as it gets opened on the far side of Rafters. The shotgun on close as it takes the swing, but isn't able to find the damage as guard. Going to be a little isolated now, close to this door, in a bit of a no man's land position, looking to try and find his footing, as we are now seeing the attackers get themselves a little closer, edging themselves closer towards the site, not quite able to find the position they really want. The man prone in front of the door is going to be a problem if we do see a bit too much of a swing from guard, and there it is, as Chiron finds the second, Kaiser falls, and that is going to be the first attacking round of this half in favor of Team Black.
So once more, Team Black gets into the lead. Once more, we have Team Fennix to an answer. Team Fennix have found 3 answers so far, with them equalizing this matchup 3 times in a row, with the being back 1-0, getting 1-1, then being back to 1, getting the 2-2, and also getting the 3-3 back in round number 6. And so now, are they potentially high up in the stats and then can hold this run and then equalize once more in round number 8? We shall see. I pretty much think so, but in the favor of Team Black, I really much don't hope so, because I really want to see this third map.
I really want to see how either of these rosters are able to make themselves known in this, and realistically, reverse sweep is a good start for the side of Team Black. If they are able to win out the next 2 maps, they will put themselves in a much better position going in towards the next couple games. Fennix really proving themselves to be a formidable opponent right now as well. Bolt is doing so well. There has been a couple whiffs, especially in that previous round for the defense, but Mankai is finally on the ball. 11-3, 1 kill away from a 4 KD, and his teammate, who's in second place, is Chiron, who is currently 8-5. On the opposite side, we are seeing 8-5 for Bolterers and 7-5 for the side, well, for guard. Meaning one of these players needs to try and really step up a little bit if they're going to meet this team in frags. They are taking the swing onto the window below, but the bar just blocks out a little bit, and just enough for him to not be able to do so. The impact goes out and tricks the breach successfully as the second Selma charge isn't quite able to detonate. And now, Mankai's reached his 4KD mark in this round.
He's reached his 4KD mark and is not seeming less to give any type of situations that he is finished so far. There's still more kills to gain. There's still more rounds to win. As Manakai drops the next one on the Kaiser, even though Manakai loses more likely a bigger importance of his life bar. Maxime pulling out into warehouse corridor, not getting any advantage there, but Garden 06 pulling out Schlevel and Silverback, cleaning up a little bit from the back end here of Fennix. So we are back on a 3-3, and Manica is also so lit on his LP. So let's see how if he can do something in Maxime. Who will fall first? Maxime or Manica? As Maxime throws the C4, doesn't find any answers there. Manica is still up and going.
Yeah,
the
now
castles build up.
The engagement's going to have to start coming in for these attackers. They need to try and find anything they can in this matchup in order to be able to actually be able to isolate a couple of these players. And with the Keeper barricade set up all over the place inside of the site, it's going to be very difficult to find your angles as well. We are going to be seeing the final player of the attacking side get his way into the building, and he was doing a little bit of a Parlo impression, but with a bit less baiting, and is going to be getting himself over towards that side. On the blue side, however, we do see Quake alone and isolated, getting himself through towards the aquarium push, and well, with Mankai still being around on the rafters, proning, watching for any of these angles to really open up for him. He takes a bit of an engagement against 06, but doesn't quite realize he's coming across until it's a little too late. 06 does make his way all the way through. Guard gets one, the injure onto Azami. It's now going to be all up to Quake as he's in a 1-versus-1 situation, chasing the man around the pillar. It's going to be the mute left, goes for the plant, and isn't able to get it in time. That is going to be the round in favor of this defense.
It is a round again in the favor of Fennix, in the favor of the defenders, with another equalization point. But after all, either if that defuse would have gone down, if he would started and begun to plant the diffuser, he would have been disrupted about it, because it takes 7 seconds, and for God's gracious, this last mirror was not standing 7 or more seconds away from him. So that round went in the hands of Team Fennix fairly square. After this round, we will now see the first one to approach a potential then standing into the match points. So then 4-4, we have seen Team Black always going back into the lead. Fennix always back up on to an answer. So then the first who breaks this streak may potentially get the better end out of this. I don't really, as I try to stand a little bit more with Team Black here in this matchup, I don't think they will take a lead in the 5th. I don't really think so. I think Fennix now fairly square will capitalize on their chances, especially now with having that spot play that they're doing right burning now. I really think they will capitalize on their chances and now finally, for the first time of this on their mapping, go into the lead.
Well, as it's now 4-4, there's very high potential for one of these teams to start pulling away, and they've had time to feel each other out. They've had time to really set up a lot of these situations, and I am going to keep pronouncing Shlowo's name wrong because I can't be bothered. And now, as we see these players just postured up inside of Kitchen, they've taken a lot of ground for themselves, and Shlowo going to be making his way through on towards the side just above Exhibition, tries to take some shots into supply, but isn't able to find the bandit on the opposite side. Bolter is going to be just toying with death as he's firing some shots over towards the opposite side, and this is going to be the site that we haven't seen in Pro League. Oh no, it's not. Kitchen's the site we haven't seen in Pro League. I'm lying. This is Control.
You're lying.
Storage,
You're
supply,
lying.
whatever the bloody hell this site's called. Either way, we are seeing the lowest defender win rate site in all of the map pool for Pro League right now as well. They've managed to find the opening, and Clever are going to be very low on HP as Chiron is going to be there to save the day. The trade comes out though, so that's going to be Kaiser to fall, and losing Mankai on the side of Team Black is going to be a huge hit. And normally you don't want one player going down to be that huge hit for your team, because this is going to be where you start to struggle. Quake falls, guard finds his man, as now we are going to be seeing this 3 versus 4 situation. Make that a 2 versus 4 as Slowu finds a bullet to the knee. And now, Skyrim references aside, we are going to be seeing Silverback and Chiron with it all to do. They find one, and now need to pinch or group up. They are a little isolated, a little far apart, and a few bits of contention coming out on towards these defenders. Not quite aware of the bandit prone underneath, and the mirror going to be there to supply the cover from above.
Bolter is meanwhile getting thrown out here by Silverback. Meanwhile, also Karen is now back on double digits, and we have guard on the flank getting the first, throwing the C4. It does not hit. He's prone and he is ready, but Karen picks up the triple kill, and it's all about Karen against Maxime. Can Karen pull on this diffuser? Maxime will try to find any angles. He doesn't find an angle on Karen. Karen with the diffuser planted. Now it's pretty much a huge situation, and I really think that Karen is able to pull this off with the help of Silverback, as Maxime now is going for the drop, and Maxime has no clue where Karen will be. He doesn't even know where the diffuser is planted at. He's wasting a lot of time about finding out. Now he will find it, more surely. He does find it, and he will have to autumn out, but Karen has this round in favor for Team Black. There's no more time for Maxime to pull out this diffuser, but he gets the last kill on Karen. That gives some ego push, after my opinion. So on that, once more, even as I said, I didn't think of it, Team Black is able to pull out the 5th lead in advance once more against Team Fennix, with Team Fennix once more trying to find a new answer in the defense number round 10. And so then, let's see if they're able to find another equalizer, or is this finally the breakthrough round for Team Black? If they so on should win this round number 10, they potentially go into round 11 with a match point of their own for the first time of this evening.
Indeed, they do 5-4 in favor of Team Black right now, and with them being able to find that previous round, it is going to be looking a little more promising for them on the repeat for the side of Fennix. They are going to be trying to go for the same thing once again and see if they can get themselves a bit of a better standing in this round. There is a relatively similar setup on the top floor that they are going for in the same way that they did in the previous round, and a bit of setup on towards those vertical angles is also going to help them for the post plant, or even later into the round when the execute is even attempted. But this time, Mankai going to be looking to try and keep himself alive in towards the late round.
He will surely look for that, as now 06 giving a call for Bolteriz. Bolteriz does not seem to care. It does not try to eager out a spawn P. That's maybe clever for him, though. As we all know, Team Black is well known for their capability of doing rear frags, and especially rear frags that also saves the teammate. So on that, we play in round number 10, Silverback opening the first connector wall here. And so then, we are still in the same spot as we saw last round, with being storage warehouse, or warehouse control room, better said. So then, we see another adaptation though. We see another way of approach on this map, on this spot from Team Black with no Manaka not being so full aggressive as he went first round. Even though he gets the first.
Oh, we might
bullets
see
in his head.
Mankai eat shit to a C4. Oh,
No, we
never
don't.
mind.
SO6 may disrupt his own C4. Does not give any more chances on getting Manaka out with that C4. But as the approach continues onto the spot, we still have 1 minute to play, so that means 2 minutes off the clock and no kills made so far. And that is more likely a boomer here because
Yeah.
this is a tight spot.
We are seeing Chiron get very close to Kaiser right now as he is going to be pressed against that barricade. Up goes the magnet as he is going to be just trying to keep himself safe and protected from those EMP grenades. A man above watching verticals onto the corridor is going to be
seconds left.
the mute of guard looking for that vertical shotgun shell. Once again, there's now a bit more contention from these attackers is going to start coming out. This is going to be a bloodbath here on towards the supply window. There's going to be the Thermite and the Thatcher trying to get themselves in. Thatcher dies first. Thermite soon to follow as he tries to take a re-swing on towards Mankai on the opposite side, but is going to be able to find it is Guard. Guard finds one more, but gets found in the back by Schlewu, as now he's going to be trying to make his way over towards the supply window, the place where he lost 2 teammates and the place where he'll lose his life himself. That is going to be Fennix equalizing this map at 5-5.
It's such an incredible map to witness here. There's so many rounds with just one team getting 1 foot into the door, then losing control, then getting back and winning the round, and then every single round like a slapback. It's like watching tennis right now. They're playing themselves the opportunities to win these rounds back and forth all the time without even noticing, and then just one team just stops playing, the second team just says, okay, we take this, and it is like an exchange all the time. But as I said, potentially Team Black could have went into this round 11 with a match point. Now we're back with an equalized standing of 5-5. So either way, Team Black wins this round 11. They go into round number 12 with a match point. But shall Fennix win this round 11, they also do go into their favorite side in round number 12 with a match point on their map pick. So now we are in the rounds where shit is about to go down, as we say.
It is. We are just going to be trying to figure out who is going to be our first person or first team to move forward in this bracket, as we are going to be looking at this match, this first lower bracket game. Bit of a tooth and nail matchup as drones being pre-placed inside of workshop, just getting themselves ready to be able to take an engagement. Who am I of Kaiser just easing the fire right now, just throwing a few deodorant cans over there just to see how big the explosion really is, but gets himself away, decides to keep himself safe towards the late round, and is going to be just postured up around generator / connector.
But at least though, he doesn't fall with his own cockiness there in the connector.
Yeah.
So he still can't say he started that fire. So unless he does another stupid move,
Start the fire.
he is fairly out of that situation. So now we still have 1 minute and 50 on the clock, 40 now then. So we have enough time for build-up, as we also saw the build-up came in the last 25 seconds of Team Black. Yes, Team Fennix won that round fairly easy, but the approach in the first seconds didn't seem so oddly off. So 1 minute 20 back is still on the clock is enough time for a huge build-up.
I'm telling you, it's that methodical 20-second meta that they're going for, that Virtus Pro style of play that they're just not able to compete with, because it is such a playstyle that does require such a high level of understanding of the game and the way things are going to happen. But that's the second dash charge to get caught by a magnet, as he wasn't patient enough to wait for the EMP to go off. And now it's going to have to come down to the Selma charge to be able to deal with the mirror window. He takes a swing, finds the kill, and now Mankind falls to Maxim with a beautiful double. And now, with 3 players down, 4 players down on this attack, we are going to be seeing a trade almost as it's an injure onto Bolter as a Silverback finds the a Silverback falls, sorry. And that is going to be the match point that Fennix were looking for.
They've broken the chain. They're finally the first team winning 2 rounds back on back, and so on. Then it was a huge round to break the chain. So now they have everything in their own hands. And when I say everything, I mean everything. If they shall proceed this 12th round and also succeed in it, they have fairly won their own map pick, giving them the second map point that they need for this evening to get 1 more round ahead and saying bye-bye for Team Black, nailing in those last nails in that coffin called Team Black.
Indeed.
So then, there's still 3 minutes remaining for Team Black to say, no, well, that ain't happening.
We are seeing this basement site, though, and this basement site has been so strong for these defenders, and obviously it was, I think Fennix actually managed to find themselves a win on it, and now, when they were on the attack, that is, and now we're going to be seeing a bit of a role swap. We're going to be seeing Shlowu pick up on that Thatcher alongside the player Chiron, who has been playing Thatcher, pick up the Ash, so they're going to be looking at something that I bring up quite often. Look at your players that are doing well. If you're comfortable and you're ready to be able to, well, if you're comfortable playing more than just the one role, then sure, just switch around a few of these players. Have the person that's feeling themselves be a bit more aggressive on towards that entry, and you can have a lot more presence in these matchups.
You could, as we said, but bigger thing about it is, can they capitalize from it? If they can, it will be a good one for them. But as a matter of fact, right now, I don't really see that happening. Especially with Fennix being the way they are in the past rounds, just being a little bit strong, a little bit always being 1 step ahead. I nearly wanted to say. But just look on the standings on the board. We have God on 13 frags. We have Maxime on double digits. We also Bold, 2 is on double digits. He falls at first though against Manikai. The 1 man in charge on Team Black.
Yeah,
also
I said that we needed players to step up on the side of Fennix, and we've got 3 in double digits competing with these 2 players that are on the side of Team Black. 1 kill found so far. Bolter is going to be the first to fall, but 2 of these players that are in such high kill counts are still alive.
But also, well, Kaiser even is the black sheep here in this lineup of Team Fennix, but with the Vigil in hand, he could be a dangerous weapon, especially for a light flying coming in from that kitchen side onto vending. If he isn't spotted, that is surely 1 big problem for Team Black. This Kaiser now comes on a prompt. I don't really think that Manikai saw him. Indeed, he saw him, but Kaiser can capitalize on his chance, getting Manikai, equalizing on 4 against 4. Silverback will get it back to on Kaiser. There goes the yellow ping. We are well known for the Malusi on the Animus. 18 seconds left on the clock. Maxime is already clocked on. He's ready. First falls in the hands. But also F6 gets Schlevo, gets Quake. 7 seconds left on the clock. Kyron is on spot. Kyron also falls. 06 getting Schlevo. Getting Silverback. Maxime getting Kyron. And that way, Fennix puts an end to all of this. Getting their map pick home with a 7-5. And so on then, we say bye-bye to Team Black. Thanks for participating. And GG. Well, back done from Team Fennix. And so on then. Congratulations, Team Fennix, getting 1 more round ahead in the lower bracket.
Yeah, Fennix only being able to really, well, the Firefoxes themselves only really able to topple the Phoenixes in, or the Eagles, sorry, not the Phoenix, only really able to topple the Eagles in the groups. And now coming into these playoffs, actually being able to prove their worth, actually being able to find some of these matchups, find some of these wins, move themselves forward in this playoffs bracket. And well, with that match being concluded, and the next ones to come up in the next few days, we are going to quickly just take a look at a couple of the brackets if we have them. I'll have to find our production. Yeah, we do. And it is going to be our first team to move forward in this lower bracket. However, on the 30th of April, tomorrow at 7:30 CEST, we are going to be seeing Aspire by SFD face off against AGM, two teams that have a lot of promise, but also have both ended up in a bit of a sketchy position. We'll have to see if they are able to really push themselves forward, really get themselves through in this playoffs bracket to be able to find themselves actually in the finals down the line.
Yeah. As we mentioned, we are in the playoff sections. As you saw in the bracket that we showed you, we have two sides. We have the lower bracket where we were standing off today, and where we also are standing off tomorrow with a match of being Aspire against AGM. For these teams in the lower bracket, it really means everything. These are best of 3 series where only one of those two participants gets one step ahead, gets to face the losers of the upper bracket next week. But the fairly as also Team Black now falling through and out of this competition if you lose now in the playoffs. And you're in the lower bracket already, you are just straight out of this competition. So Team Black is now out, in fact. And tomorrow, either Aspire or AGM will join Team Black out of this competition and have to take a leave until the next season. But as that said, so far, I won't miss many more words about that. I will see you tomorrow on that match, with me being another enjoyer of watching how Aspire can deal with their latest lefts of the roster. That could potentially be a big impact on that, with one of their main guys, especially one of their main guys of the entry style frag, leaving the team. So we shall see how they can adapt, if they may find a new player for that. Well, on so on that, we shall see you tomorrow when it's again duo down with the ESA. Bye bye for now.
See you later.